News are out. This company is purchasing Spirit Airlines. Well, it's no longer news. One company just decided to buy the infamous Spirit Airlines. So, what does this purchase entail, and what does it mean for consumers? Welcome back to CompanyWorld. Is this company trying to build a monopoly? And what's the main reason for the merger? Let's find out. It's now official. JetBlue is almost acquiring Spirit Airlines. JetBlue will pay $33.50 per share, which adds up to $3.8 billion in equity. Their recent JetBlue press release stated that the merger would give JetBlue 9% of the market, compared to 23% to 13% for the Big Four, which controls 80% of the market. But even though Spirit shareholders have agreed to the buyout, the deal could still be blocked by federal regulators who are against monopolies. Spirit's stock price was $25.66 when the buyout was announced, giving it a market cap of around $3 billion, less than the deal value. This shows that the market has doubts about the merger because of antitrust concerns. So, might they be in trouble? JetBlue said that the deal would save them between $600 and $700 million each year, based on schedules for December 2022. The acquisition would speed up JetBlue's growth by adding 1,700 flights to more than 125 cities in 30 countries. The new airline would have a fleet of 458 planes and an order book of more than 300 Airbus planes with new engine option engines that use less fuel and produce less carbon. Undoubtedly, they seem to have a plan. But although the merger of JetBlue and Spirit Airlines is official, it has not yet been finalized. The two airlines will continue to fly under their brands until the transaction closes, which is anticipated to happen in early 2023. Regulatory opposition may exist, and the merger must undergo a rigorous antitrust assessment. According to Bloomberg, merger evaluations are common, but President Joe Biden has prioritized close examination in sectors like airlines that have seen significant consolidation. In JetBlue's case, the DOJ is likely to look at a range of factors, including the markets in which the carriers both operate, how any flight concentration would affect airfares, whether service would be cut, and if the combination would reduce chances that the surviving carrier will expand into new cities or regions. So, what will JetBlue do with the Spirit? You'll have to wait until official changes to the airlines take effect, but in a news release announcing the merger, JetBlue stated that nothing would change and the two would remain independent airlines. But after closure, they expect to gradually integrate Spirit aircraft by converting its current fleet to JetBlue, providing Spirit customers with a JetBlue onboard experience. The transaction concludes that loyalty programs and co-branded credit cards will stay separate. However, once the merger is finished, you might notice certain improvements to the standard Spirit flying experience. But to the question we all have, how will this affect the customers? Currently, we all know Spirit Airlines doesn't provide free food or drinks. Passengers typically bring their food, which has inspired countless memes. And like the norm, budget airlines have severe drawbacks in addition to the absence of food, such as coping with canceled flights, missing luggage, and excessively long or short layovers. Although some guidelines to follow when flying will give you the best chance of a hassle-free vacation, the low-frills budget airline culture is genuine. Despite all the jokes about Spirit, Gabe Sagley, senior editor of Travel Zoo, claims that there is a market for no-frills travel. This accounts for Spirit's popularity among specific circles of travelers. Even though Spirit is less glitzy, most people who adore it are charmed by the relatively cheap cost of flying. Sometimes it's not about comfort, convenience, or having confidence that your flight will arrive on schedule and without a glitch. Some travelers only care about finding the cheapest way to get from one place to another. You can choose a cheap airline if you don't care about things like cushions and blankets, free Wi-Fi, or fees for carry-on baggage that cost almost as much as the ticket itself. And now, most people who fly a lot are wondering if Spirit will stay as a bad airline that people only use when they need a cheap fare. Will upgrades or airplane features turn it from everyone's favorite plane joke into an airline that people might actually enjoy flying? it was revealed that the new JetBlue will offer standard perks to Spirit passengers, like better seat pitch, more legroom, and more extras like snacks on board. Shankman agrees that Spirit will be a better choice for travelers after the merger. But that probably means more to people going on vacation than people going on a business trip. He says that he and other business travelers rarely, if ever, fly on cheap airlines. He always chooses United Airlines, whether traveling for business or pleasure. But you have to know that people who fly Spirit don't fly Spirit to have a great time. They fly Spirit because they can visit grandma for $47. And if you follow that line of thought, it doesn't need to change that much. Even if Spirit only changes how they let people on board, that will make flying with Spirit much better. We won't fully understand how the merger affects travel until everything is finalized. Still, experts believe that there are two key areas where the new airline may impact travel: the pricing and the availability of flights. This summer's air travel has been a complete mess, with already congested airports being overrun by delays caused mainly by labor shortages. Small vacations can be edited into oblivion when shorted by a day or two due to delays and cancellations we've seen this summer. More often than not, bad weather contributes to travel problems. On Sunday, August 7, the flight tracking website FlightAware reported a total of 7,746 flights that were delayed and 949 that were canceled within, into, and out of the United States. The situation didn't improve much. The next week, FlightAware noted that 41% of JetBlue flights and 36% of Southwest planes had delays. Simply 4% of flights on United and 4% on American Airlines were canceled, with 23 and 24% of flights being correspondingly delayed. On that Saturday, 2% of Delta's flights were canceled and 22% were delayed. Nevertheless, a few enhancements should result from merging JetBlue and Spirit Airlines. The Caribbean and Central America will be included in the expanded network of routes, in addition to JetBlue's new service to London. And one may anticipate that the new JetBlue will have more aircraft and people available for rotation, hopefully reducing issues like delays brought on by shortage of airplanes or staff. There is a good chance that JetBlue will add more routes. According to a press release from the company, the new JetBlue Spirit Airlines, based on schedules for December 2022, will provide its 77 million customers with more alternatives and choices, including more than 1,700 daily flights to more than 125 destinations in 30 countries. So, what will be the effect on airline prices? At the end, there will be less competition, which normally leads to higher costs. JetBlue Spirit Airlines has surpassed Alaska Airlines to become the 5th largest airline in the nation, behind American, Delta, United, and Southwest. The ability to find tickets in their preferred price range may be more difficult for travelers who depend on these so-called cheap carriers. However, executives at JetBlue have stated that one of their objectives for the merger is to reduce expenses. The business has even suggested that the JetBlue effect, or what happens when legacy carriers respond to JetBlue's low cost, might lead to lower fares across the board and provide passengers with more options. A fact there is no surefire way to know. As Snyder points out, travelers will have to wait and see how things work out once the merger is completed. We already know that the merger of JetBlue and Spirit Airlines resulted from the failure of the Frontier and Spirit merger. Many mergers, however, have been successful. For instance, in 2001, American Airlines and TWA merged, just like Delta and Northwest in 2008, United and Continental in 2010, and Alaska and Virgin America in 2016. Because airline mergers keep airlines alive, customers benefit as well. According to Dartmouth engineering professor Vikrant Vase, who has examined the effects of airline mergers on customers, the largest beneficiaries are the folks who happen to live near the hubs of the larger airline in the merger. However, there is a great deal of uncertainty for those who rely on the smaller airline's flying network. Both outcomes are possible, and occasionally they lose much. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the merger? Will it be good or bad for most customers? Comment below and let's interact. Also, please leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos. That's all for today's video, and see you in the next one.